Thank you, Ben. I would like to welcome each and every one of you, and thank you for all attending the New York Distracted Driving Summit. We are also streaming this event live online, so I welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm not a loud person. My dad always yells at me for that. But so we're engaging people outside of New York, because to me, New York has really stood out as a state that's putting action into this, and I want other states to learn what they've done here and apply it to where they're from. My name is Jennifer Smith, and I'm the Executive Director of StopDistractions.org. We did just relaunch with a new name, as you see our old logos up there, so we now have a new site, StopDistractions.org. We're a grassroots nonprofit organization dedicated to eliminating the lifelong devastation that results when a loved one is killed or injured in a distracted driving crash. We bring together distracted driving victims and their families, victim survivors, foundations, and the general public to build awareness and recognition to this reckless behavior. Developed with the victim in mind, our website serves as a central hub for all the efforts surrounding the issue of distracted driving nationwide. This is a place where individuals can share and learn from each other. They can collaborate. There's so many efforts going on for distracted driving across this country. We just want to be a place for us to all work together and join our efforts, like, for instance, with Ben and the Lieberman family with Dorks. We know we can do this together. It's a place we collectively work together so we can make a greater impact to stop distracted driving and provide the support to those impacted. Many of us, at least 1,000 families across the country we work with on a daily basis, have lost loved ones or been affected. My fellow board member Jennifer Jameson is here. She lost her husband. J.C. Good is here. She lost both of her parents and was injured in the crash. This is happening every day to everyone. Each year, thousands of families suffer the loss of a loved one needlessly at the hands of drivers distracted by their cell phones or other distractions behind the wheel. We've heard it all before. Texting and other distractions like emailing, now taking selfies, Facebook. All of these things are killing our loved ones, yet we can't seem to stop doing it. These drivers are not only putting their lives on the line, but they're also risking the safety of others on the road. The dangers of distracted driving have reached epidemic proportions in this country. And I, like so many people, did have to learn this lesson the hard way. In the 6 years since my mother was killed by a driver who was on his cell phone, I have been at the center of advocacy efforts to put an end to this behavior. And I just want to wake up one day and not hear of that new crash, of that new family I need to reach out to so they know they're not alone. New York has stood out to me as a leader in this. You've got innovative solutions. Governor Cuomo comes up with a new idea and a new bill, and he enters it into, legislation, and next thing you know, it's signed, it's a law, and it's into effect. I wish we could have leadership like him in many other states across the country, and I think we could make a big dent in this problem. However, despite this widespread action, the awareness of the dangers, this epidemic is still persisting. And now we need to take this to the next level. Your attendance at this event is a great example of each of your commitment to protect motorists here in New York and across the nation. The goals of this conference are to collaborate on how we can achieve the next level of progress in the fight against distracted driving, and to begin developing a replicable model for other states to use nationwide. This summit will highlight the successes and the obstacles that have been faced in dealing with this behavior. The day is going to consist of 5 panels. The panelists will answer those tough questions, and they'll give you their view of what we can do, the real-world examples of what is working, what we've learned, and what the next possible steps could be. We need you to work with us to help come up with these ideas. We'll start with looking at New York's approach to combating distracted driving, on how law enforcement is handling this, and the successes they have achieved. I've heard so many times in other states you can't enforce these laws. New York has proven you can do that, and it does change behavior. Next, we'll look at crash investigations and prosecutions. The investigations of these crashes are getting much better, much deeper. We are finding out that the cell phone was involved in the crash, so we're going to explore that and really look into it. The role of media in changing social perceptions. This has been a big buzzword for a long time. You know, how do we sustain the awareness and the efforts without people just getting tired of hearing the same sad stories? Jonesing to text. We'll be talking about the behavior, and today we're going to look at a new side of this coming from a communications perspective. I'm very excited to hear what Joseph Baer has got to say on that. And then lastly, we're going to talk about reaching students and changing perspectives. You know, students, they get it. When you tell them this is dangerous, they get it, and they want to do more. How can we help them educate their parents? Because that's the one thing they tell us they need help with. There's going to be numerous breaks throughout the day, and I encourage you to network with each other during those breaks and even after this event. We are fortunate that the New York Governor's Traffic Safety Committee brought their simulator. I know we're all adults and it's not as fun for us, but we should try the simulator. We need the reminder we can't do this either. If even for that quick second you think, oh, I'll just look at this message real quick, not even for that second do you want to do that. We're also streaming this live on YouTube, and so for those out in internet land, if you send in your questions via Twitter with hashtag NYDDS or by emailing them to jsmith@stopdistractions.org, we'll include those in the conversation. By now, we all know someone who has been affected by or involved in a crash with a distracted driver. We must stop these tragedies from occurring. As I now tell anyone, and I've been telling people this for 6 years, it's no longer a matter of if this is going to happen to someone you love, it's when. And you don't want to walk in our shoes. Cell phone distracted driving touches us all in one way or another. Last year, it touched the families of thousands of people. By working together, we can prevent distracted driving crashes and save many lives. As the families behind the faces of distracted driving, it brings me great joy to see so many people are coming together to fight this epidemic. There are so many ways to make a lasting impact in the lives of those around us and in our communities. And that's by setting the example. Talk to at least one person each and every day about distracted driving. Share our stories, share the stories of others. Through our losses, we can provide what is needed to fight the many battles that we will face in this war against distracted driving. No distraction is worth a life. Whatever it is, it can wait. I would now like to introduce Marissa Shorenstein, the president of AT&T New York.